Internets, hello you lovelies. Welcome to the Kristian Harloff Show. The Big Thing presents Capes and Cowls. I'm your host, not Kristian Harloff. I'm Coy Jandreau. I am here with Winston. He's going to come in a second. Kristian is not here, but somehow the one that I'm hosting without Kristian is the Star Wars episode. We're going to talk Star Wars in honor of Celebration. We're diving in to Ryan Gosling officially doing a Shawn Levy Star Wars film. Going to dive all into that. We got a new Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, but we're going to talk some capes and cowls that are the superhero stuff as well. We're going to be diving into the Daredevil finale. We're going to be diving into all of the quotes from Haley Steinfeld. We're going to be talking about lots and lots of stuff. Oh, and a little Fantastic Four trailer dropped as well. This is Capes and Cowls Star Wars Edition. Welcome back to the show. Technically, Star Wars has a ton of comics, a lot of them very good. So this is canonically Capes and Cowls adjacent. It's Celebration. We're going to celebrate some Star Wars. I am joined, as always, even in the boss man's not around. I don't even know what he's doing today, but I hope it's something awesome. I hope he's having fun because Winston Marshal's here with me today. How are you, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm all over the place, bro, because like we had the Superman behind the scenes featurette come out. You had the Fantastic Four, which we don't even have time to talk about, I don't think. But then we got the Fantastic Four, Star Wars celebrations going on. Him dropped the trailer, bro. I was trying to do everything I could to get my trailer reaction out. It's too much shit going on. I swear to God.
It's an abundance of riches. Like if we, in the normal time, a Daredevil finale, a Fantastic Four trailer, that's plenty. Like that's an entire week of news circa 2018. But now it's like a blip in the radar of holy crap, Ryan Gosling, Shawn Levy, Star Wars, all of the other stuff we have to talk about. And I really am excited for this to be what Star Wars we're talking about. I'm a huge fan of both these gents, so I'm really excited to dive into that. Before we do, though, got to tell the people, we're at 140. If you guys want
for Rocha and Mike, that's the goal to beat today.
140. And you know how we play dirty. You want to throw $1 in there? Counts. So I don't mind.
We play dirty, bro.
I don't mind if it's 141 $1. I think that's great. I know inflation, recession. So
those are the rules.
Let's kick it off. Speaking of trade federations and $1 craziness, prequelitis, let's talk about hopefully the opposite of that, going into a Star Wars story that is right after, it seems, episode 9. This really intrigues me because I didn't know anything about this going into Celebration. I heard rumors. I heard things might be cooking up, but now it is official. We even have a title. So with Star Wars Celebration underway, this is from Mark Cassidy. We are going to be talking about the brand new Star Wars movie as directed by Shawn Levy, which is being announced as we speak in Tokyo. The film will be titled Star Wars Starfighter and will be a standalone adventure set a few years after the events of Rise of Skywalker. So that's what I was speaking to. The opposite of the prequels. We're diving into the stuff after episode 9. It already has a release date of May 28, 2027, which still sounds like a super futuristic date to me, but it's actually 2 years and 1 month away, which is terrifying just at a mortality level.
Damn it.
That's like 2 years, that's now.
Yeah.
Well, they said, quote,
I hate you for that.
I just wanted to bring you, Winston, that's 25 months away.
Do you just, why did we say you should host? I am upset just by you putting all of this anxiety in my body.
I'm just making you aware that's roughly 102 weeks. I'm just making you aware that's roughly, give or take, 830 or so days. That's not long.
I'm going to tell that you bullied me the whole damn show.
You're this much closer to death and this much closer to a new Star Wars movie. Ryan Gosling took the stage saying, the reality is that the script is just so good. It has such a great story with great and original characters. It's filled with so much heart and adventure. And there just really is not a more perfect filmmaker for this particular story than Shawn. This is a standalone and not a prequel, not a sequel. It's a new adventure. It's set in a period of time that we haven't explored yet, added Levy. Levi or Levy, I'm going to have to one day ask the man. I haven't met him. But this intrigues me because we have seen a lot of prequels and we have seen a lot of certain, I don't know, time periods is tricky because it's like in a galaxy far, far away, long, long ago. But like it does feel like we've been centered in a pretty insular arena. And I've always said, as soon as we escape the Star Wars Skywalker era and go into Star Wars that's outside of that, I'll be very happy. The Acolyte kind of dabbled, but we all know that felt a little disjointed in itself trying to dabble. So this has me very excited. That is about all that was disclosed during the event, but we have a little bit more info thanks to scooper Daniel Rickman, who said apparently the movie will follow a Jedi, played by Ryan Gosling, who decides to train his 15-year-old nephew as a Padawan, saying, quote, the pair embark on some kind of mission while being pursued by two villains, one male, one female. The Padawan mother also plays an important role in the story, and there's another major female character as well. The movie will reportedly have a significantly smaller budget than the previous Disney-era films and is described as a more contained story. That sounds, to me, Gosling-tastic. The dude is so good at stuff like Lars and the Real Girl and Drive, as well as huge things like, you know, Barbie and The Fall Guy. I love the idea of contained Star Wars. Make your budget back. If Kristian was here, we'd talk about the fact that we want a $50 million Star Wars movie for a bit, but let the Force ghosts of Kristian just tell you, budget. This is going to be good. I think more contained. I think make your money back. Start chipping away at the deficit of like both Star Wars cost and Star Wars opinion. Start to bid back goodwill and build back some financials in the Star Wars saga. Levy has also developed the script with Jonathan Troper, who is also responsible for This Is Where I Leave You and The Adam Project. This Is Where I Leave You being that crazy hit show going on right now, and The Adam Project being Shawn Levy's own project with Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo that came out, I think, 2022. He is also developing this with Kathleen Kennedy. Following the massive success of Deadpool and Wolverine, Levy is reportedly viewed by Disney as a must-have, must-keep director. So there's a good chance he will have a significant amount of creative control over the movie. That, I think, is another essential. I think a huge part of all of this going in and out, and this is what I'm going to ask Winston about once we're done with these quotes, is I think a lot of these projects fell apart because it was like, here, go make Star Wars. We're going to go, whoop. And now I think they realize they got to make directors direct. Last thing I want to say here is I will say that the experience of crafting the story has forced me to think about that question. Levy said last year when asked what he hopes to bring to the table for his trip to a galaxy far, far away, because there's only so many times that Star Wars movies can revisit the same section of the timeline. And so it's really good it's really forced me because I don't want to do a Star Wars movie that is redundant to others, nor am I interested in doing one that has to serve another movie. I really wanted to craft something that felt organic to me, both in tone and characters. So I think there's a certainty, the force, and the connection that's something bigger than our individual selves. And the way that we can make make as powerful those themes combined with visual delight and wish fulfillment, that is Star Wars to me. I completely agree. Winston, what is Star Wars to you, and what do you think of this news?
Dude, I am thrilled. I am thrilled to hear that this is what they want to do with the movie. I mean, specifically from the standpoint of, I think where we got out of control here is, I know that the first 3 Star Wars films held we'll call it the first 6 Star Wars films, so the prequels as well. It is about a particular, like 1, 2, 3 characters, and then, but in a grand space opera type situation. But the way they were made felt intimate, if that makes sense.
I agree.
And instead, when we got to the sequel trilogy, it kind of lost that. And I don't necessarily know if it's because the story got spiraled out, because they still kind of kept it a little bit. It's more that because the budget's ballooned and all the hands involved and all of the criticism from all different areas of the fandoms and all sorts of stuff, and Disney being even more intimately trying to control things and everything that Kathleen Kennedy was doing. Like, I think the reason why the movie that most people agree was the best out of everything in this Disney Star Wars era was Rogue One, is because that also had that intimate feel. And there was stuff even that people say about Solo, even though it didn't do well, that at moments it felt like that, but then you could see where the overreach came in. And so part of what made Mandalorian so good for those first few seasons, intimate storytelling. So bringing this budget down, putting in an actor like Gosling, I think you're asking to go back to what made us so intrigued in the first place with Star Wars, is that some one or two individuals dealing with something, but a part of a grander scheme. We're focused on their story and what they are to the big world, and that is what this kind of feels like. They're going back to their roots there. So I'm excited for it.
I would also say that the Adam Project is a great testament to intimate sci-fi. Like, it's about a father and son story. It's time travel, it's scope, but like it feels like Amblin, contained, very like personal. And if that's what Shawn Levy wants to bring, I think hiring someone like Gosling is not only going to get butts and seats what they need, but it's also going to be able to be personal. Like, he's so good at connecting to an audience. Like, what impresses me most about Gosling is I think he's one of the funniest actors working, and especially one that isn't a comedian. Like, his timing and ability to do interviews and be off the cuff is substantial. But he's also, while that good verbose, he's that good silent. Like, the fact that you can watch Drive and he says like 3 words is insane. I know it's not literally 3 words, internet comments, but like the fact that he's able to be so reserved.
We got to be able to talk in hyperbole, man. That's
such a loss. Like, well, actually, it was 672 words, and if you count the but I feel like the nature of Ryan Gosling is his versatility, and I think Star Wars could use someone that is a movie star that is pushing the narrative of Star Wars forward. I found Jude Law so captivating in the Skeleton Key. And Skeleton Crew. I will do that for the rest of the time.
That one they can slam you for. That's just a slip of the tongue, but that one.
Skeleton Key is such a common expression. It's an actual thing in life. Skeleton Crew, Jude Law is like so magnanimous, and like he's such an interesting anchor that you're like, oh, a movie star really does shape how much interest you can have in something. And I think Gosling has that in spades. I think he is so captivating. I think this is a big win for Disney, and the fact that it's an official announcement at Tokyo and that Gosling was there with the director. Yeah. This feels the most like, oh, is this going to happen? It doesn't feel like, oh, we're going to announce it. We're going to have a poster. We're going to like acknowledge someone. Like, they showed up and it has a release date. To me, this feels like the most tangible Star Wars in years. What do you think?
I mean, I think for me, what sticks is I really trust Shawn Levy. I also don't know the man. I just especially seeing the care in which he has been working with Reynolds, the other Ryan, and how that has kind of come to pass. I just have a lot of faith here. I mean, it's kind of the same way that the truth was when Taika Waititi first came on the scene. Just the first few movies he put out, it was the same thing where people were like all in on this guy. It just felt like by the time he got to the end of Love and Thunder, either he didn't care or he was like, and I'm going to do whatever I want or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And so a little bit of trust got lost there for a minute. But so far, Shawn Levy has really put out just solid work. So if he's willing to bring that same filmmaking and not have them get messed up, and you saw the quote of Disney has got him as we cannot lose this talent, then that by itself means they should allow him to just go and cook. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for, you know?
And last thing I want to speak to it, because we do have a bunch more stories, but not only the Gosling of it all, and I love that you're talking about Shawn as an asset here, but I also think Shawn Levy is uniquely poised at being a great studio director. Like, there are people that work well with studios that don't make as successful of films. Like, if you're watching The Studio, I think there's a great commentary on like Nicholas Stoller being a good studio man versus like hiring an auteur for certain properties. I think that Star Wars should be a blend of auteur directors and studio directors, because they got to make their money. But if you can make a giant profit off a low budget and be a good studio director, I think that's the sweet spot for them right now of like, can we make this for 100 million, 150 million instead of 250 million? And then we just made a Billy on Deadpool. We trust this guy. Even if this clears 600 million, which it will, it's Star Wars, and costs 150, I don't know the numbers, I'm making them up. But if you can have that kind of if you can have that kind of profit margin right now when you need it most with someone that does know how to play ball, they made a studio film with Deadpool and Wolverine, but it was still Gosling's vision. It was still Hugh Jackman's victory lap. Like, it still had all those things, but you could tell the studio got to do the things they wanted with it. Because to me, it was clear as day that the X-Men were going to be in it. And then all of a sudden they were like, we got a secret war. And they're like, shh. And then like he was able to make a new story out of like, so that sort of thing's essential. And I think that Taika is a great example of the opposite of that. Like, I think Taika Waititi is a comedic genius. I think he's incredible when he gets to play with his world. And I think Ragnarok, they let him do his thing. And then Love and Thunder, it got a little too like studio note. We're going to cut the cancer stuff. Like, it felt like it was a filmmaker making something and a studio making something. And then it was like, nope. So I think it's a combination of things that I think makes this really exciting for me, at least.
No, I 100% get it. And I'm right on board with you, man. I think above all else, we got to a much more, I clearly Jordan Peele's on the mind. I was going to say a much more sunken place. That's not quite correct there. I mean, more just like in the swamp here of people losing faith in Star Wars, not loving the stuff that's going on there as a whole. Obviously, people love individual things. There were definitely some wins, things like that. It's the same kind of distrust that people have had with Marvel as of late. It's the same distrust, probably as deep, maybe a little deeper than DCEU, and then what went on there. And so if this is truly going down the way that it is, and you're really just resetting and trying to get back to form, then I think that this could be a good thing. But that's the thing. We got to wait and see. If my biggest concern is when you have events like this impetus to be like, and we got so much shit for you, bro. We got Tom Brady. We got Michael Jordan. We got LeBron James. We got Serena Williams. You just listed all these people. None of them are there. It's Fire Festival. There's none of them ever materialize. It's just Ja Rule. That's it, who would just happen to be a part of the whole fucking thing. And that's my concern. They're announcing again 6, 7, 8, 9 movies or projects, and then we get one or none of them. You know what I mean? Or a bastardized version, because again, you had Patty Jenkins was supposed to do something. Taika Waititi. We're going to talk about the stuff in a second that is still involved. Taika Waititi, Simon Kinberg, James Mangold, Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy, Levy was announced. There's like a bunch of people.
Did you mention that Patty Jenkins that came kind of back last year, like
for half a second and then disappeared again? So that is my other thing. I am really concerned. Let's stop announcing the next 5 to 10 years. Give me the next 2.
Yeah,
the next 2 years, and literally a year from now, if you're still on schedule after announcing that 2. Announce the next 2 years after that, or the next year following. You can give me more information on that second year and give me the third year. Like, I know we all have a 5-year plan, but
maybe keep 3 of those years to yourself.
Literally, one of the things that like my therapist will tell me is that you will get in trouble sometimes, my ADHD ass, because there's a dopamine hit about announcing all this stuff that you're going to do. And then all of a sudden,
hit. And the stock will hit. Like the stock hit too. And
I totally understand that.
The visual dopamine.
But the funny thing is, I understand that you're trying to like keep your stocks going, but you got to be real careful because they go up now, but when you don't ever release a movie and then nobody trusts you and sees your shit anymore, in the long term, you were going to screw yourself over. So just give me just a couple of years. Let's get to that first year. And then announce the next year or 2 years and give me that. Stop giving me 5, 10 years in the future. That is for you to present to your board quietly, not to us, so that we can get frustrated and disappointed at all of this stuff. So
I hope that this, I went to this relates. It sounds like a tangent, I promise. I went to a concert last night and I actually took out my phone to take a video of the crowd because I only saw 6 cell phones.
That's impressive.
I was at a concert. It was an 800-person venue, and I mentally noticed there were only 6 phones out. I bring that up because what I hope is happening is we're getting a shift back to a world of less tell me the next thing. Let me be on my phone. I think the overstimuli, I'm hoping we peaked and we all went a little crazy the last 5 years. And the next 5 years are a bit of a, let's go ahead and peel this back a little bit. Like the fact that I literally looked out at a crowd and I was like, wow, it's dark. I can pay attention to the band. I noticed it. And I'm hoping we see that with news. I'm hoping we see that with studio announcements. I'm hoping we see that with all this stuff. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying I hope it happens. And I hope that studios go, okay, we had a phase where we were like, let's announce the phases. Let's peel back a little bit. Let's keep them excited. Let's give them a year or two, like you're saying, but not these 5 or 10 year plans that ruin expectation, reality, variables. Don't do it. Well, that was actually our next story. I did want to go through the directors that are reconfirmed.
I couldn't help myself. I just started.
No, we're trying to get out of the swamp of Dagobah. We were in the swamp. We're trying to get out. The next story I want to talk about. Hey, look at these names. We got films by James Mangold, Shamin Obaid-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and Simon Kinberg still in ongoing development, according to Kathleen Kennedy and the Hat himself. I really love, and this is so dumb, but I really love that Kevin Feige wears a cap and Filoni wears a cowboy hat, and there's just like this Disney conglomerate of hat guys. Like, we got the science under here.
So what I'm trying to think is, did they have a third major property under Disney? But I guess just Disney.
I think Pixar would have been, but it feels like it got absorbed more fully. Like Pixar doesn't feel like its own thing anymore. It feels, and I don't even know who that would be because I don't think they've got like a head honcho anymore.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Whoops.
But if they get one, they better wear a hat.
Yeah, no, that's real talk, man. I mean, look, again, I would be excited to see what all these projects ultimately are if they come back in, and they get made. But again, announcing all of those directors makes me more nervous. I would rather you give me just 2, maybe 3, and this is what I'm focused on. But I get it. You have been, if you're that down bad, you're like, and we got so much shit for you, bro. Like, do you notice that during SNL, whenever, like, I know a lot of people don't F with SNL anymore, but it's been the same formula they've always had. They do a cold open, then they have a monologue, and then they end it with, we got a great show for you tonight. They don't go, we've got, Coy Jandrew's here, so stick around, we'll be right back. They don't go, Coy Jandrew's here, and then we're going to do a sketch about trash, and then we're going to do a sketch about politics, and then we're going to do a sketch about sinners, and then we're going to do a commercial break, like a sketch, and then we're going to do the weekend update, and then there's going to be a song, and then another song. Like, they just say, we have a great show for you, and then believe in me, they give you a little teaser taste. Like, even him, this wasn't the full trailer. This was a teaser trailer right now, just to make me go, ooh,
Also, as an excuse to plug, Happy Superman Day. Speaking
today?
of using today,
I thought it was yesterday. It's today.
Superman Day. Right now.
Yeah, I put the wrong shirt on. I just because of him, I put on my Black Man Dope shirt. I go put on my Superman shirt.
There are canonically black Superman. You're good. It's accurate adjacent. It's more of a Luke Cage vibe because of the yellow, but I'll take it. The yellow sun is fueling you today.
Hey man, I'm having some coffee. You know what it is.
Ready now. That said, I bring up Superman not just because Superman Day, but you just mentioned that the him teaser trailer, like a different style of marketing. I love that Superman Day gave us this dope behind the scenes footage. It dropped this morning. I'm sure you haven't seen it yet, but like it's a really cool.
I know of it. I just
a step. But I love that on Superman Day, instead of being like, let's give them too much of the movie, they went, hey, this is why we love Superman. Let's look back and then also show you new stuff. Like, it's got David Cornsweet in this. It opens with Cornsweet just cape billowing, but then it's got like Rachel, Nicholas, and David walking to camera like a walk and talk, talking about their characters. That's so much more interesting to me than finding out the third act of the movie in a too early trailer. And it looks to me like they're following the Barbie campaign. Their next trailer didn't hit till May, and the movie came out in July. They just went hardcore in the summer. I think Star Wars needs to do more like that, but on a macro scale. They need to stop going, look at this long time horizon. They need to go, okay, let's go brat. When it's Star Wars o'clock, come at us. And we're about to get Andor, in a rapid succession. We're getting 3 episodes at a time per week. Yeah. Now is a good time to go, hey, we've got these announcements. Look at these directors. Look at Ryan Gosling. Okay, let's take a step back. Andor. And then, like, let's enjoy that for a bit. Don't give us a bunch of other stuff. Like, let this be the thing to live in for a minute.
No, I fully agree. And I really hope that's, I mean, obviously what Andor drops on Monday. Wednesday. Like, it's one of these days next week.
Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday because Daredevil ended, so it could start.
Are they taking the same? They're just gonna keep Tuesdays from now on.
I think that's why Daredevil had that weird release schedule where it was like 2, 1.
That makes sense. Okay, so then I mean, then it should get all the focus. It is one of the few things that has actually been incredibly successful. So I'm here for that too, man. And but you know, I am happy for Superman Day. We'll get to the more comic stuff in a minute, for sure. And I'm definitely, I am excited to watch that BTS. I'm going to do that after we get off air and all that. But all that being said, we should probably bump to our last big Star Wars story here. There was, I will say, there was also an announcement of a Maul Shadow Lord animated series. That looks kind of dope. I'm excited about that. But we got to talk about the bigger movie here.
Well, we did talk about trailers and marketing. Speaking of trailers and marketing, we finally got one for the biggest, I think, moment besides Gosling out of all of Celebration so far.
Oops.
The Mandalorian. It was just me for a second. The Mandalorian and Grogu. By the way, guys, I might be hosting, but my tech illiterate ass has no idea what Winston's doing. He's on the 1s and 2s. So Kristian does both. My hands are up here for a reason. I got nothing. So give Winston some love on the 1s and 2s. He's DJing today. He's making it happen. So all the love to Winston making this work because I couldn't do it. We got a trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu. Apparently it leaked. I haven't seen it. I don't plan to. I like to see stuff when it's finished. So we got this breakdown here, though. This is from Josh Wilding. Let's see. With Disney looking to increase theatrical revenue after spending years shoring up its streaming offerings on Disney Plus to great expense. What a concept, streaming not being profitable. Who knew? The movie will bring Din Djarin and the child to the big screen, and at Star Wars Celebration in Japan yesterday evening, fans were shown a first look as we first reported on sffgazette.com. That's now leaked online and can be viewed at this link. All right, comicbookmovie.com, just pirate ban it up. The trailer opens with Mando laying waste to a squad.
No. That's their the pirate ban thing. I was going to say this is their other site. You know, they have like a few. They have like, this is what's sci-fi fantasy gazette versus comic book movie versus like they have one for each one. They have a video game one. But that's not what I was just saying.
It was funny. They posted a link to the leak through like an alternate means. They're like, it's not our link.
I want to see where it landed. Oh yeah, no, that shit gone. I just opened up the link. That link is like, this is gone because of copyright claim, and we own all your shit now.
Yeah, I'm like, someone's on a list. You might be for clicking it, but a smaller list.
Please continue.
The trailer opens with Mando laying waste to a squad of Imperials aboard an AT-AT before the bounty hunter reports back to Sigourney Weaver's New Republic pilot. Also, Sigourney Weaver was at Star Wars Celebration today or yesterday is the 22-year anniversary of Holes, which made me really happy that she was there celebrating because my buddy Cleo was in Holes and they're like reuniting 22 years later. It's adorable. There's heaps of Grogu cuteness, a surprise appearance from Star Wars Rebels Zeb Oriolis, and the long-awaited return of Din's Razor Crest. Near the end of the preview, we see that Grogu is growing stronger in the Force as he lays waste to an Imperial mouse droid. There's also a pretty terrific shot of him swimming. He also catches sight of formidable-looking Rod of the Hutt in an arena of some sort. Rumor has it the movie's leads will be tasked with rescuing him. I'm super intrigued about what the bear homeboy Jeremy Allen White looks like as a Hutt. That's the thing I'm most intrigued about from this whole trailer. Talking to Gaming Bible in Japan a few hours ago, the Mandalorian and Grogu star Pedro Pascal said, quote, "It's an unbelievable thing to be a part of something that had such an incredible influence on me as a kid. It was a secret wish of mine from the beginning because of how cinematically sophisticated it was. I can tell you that what they're going to deliver. They'll be topping themselves as filmmakers, and it is a gorgeous and exciting ride." Asked what it's been like working with Weaver as she makes her Star Wars debut, Pascal added, quote, "Listen, I don't know where to start when it comes to Sigourney Weaver. She's one of my favorite actors. She's an icon to me. Her, more than anyone in my upbringing, sort of did all the genres. Comedy, science fiction, action, horror, drama, biography. I've seen her on stage in small films, large films, so this is probably one of the greatest highlights for me and one of the bigger honors of my career." And then it goes on to give us the release date, May 22nd, 2026. That is next year, next month. That is a mere 13 months away, Winston. May 22nd, 2026. 13 months, roughly.
You are going to catch these hands, I swear to God.
13 months is a mere, 48 weeks, a mere 390 or so days until May 22nd, 2026.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I'm just, and we're that much closer to the grave. Who knows if we'll make it to Mandalorian and Grogu, much less Ryan Gosling. But yeah,
put that out there, bro. You know the world is crazy right now, you stupid bastard.
My last video. But yeah, I think this is exciting sounding. I'm really curious what Sigourney Weaver in Star Wars feels like. It's giving me that Jude Law like movie star in Star Wars. Give us that gravitas, give us that anchor. But Rod of the Hutt is the thing I'm most excited about checking out. What about you?
Yeah, I mean seeing him as the Hutt is going to be amazing. I have always just loved the relationship between Mando and Grogu, and so I think just seeing that even further and in a movie, like there is definitely a difference between TV and movies, even though they are starting to blend pretty hard. Seeing them in that scenario will be really great. Seeing the action from Mando on a big screen will be great. I want to see where Grogu is at. I mean, it's cool he's taking out an Imperial mouse droid. I'm trying to see if old dude can like randomly just move the a Star Destroyer that was like going one way. He just knocks it off. He didn't move the whole thing like Star Killer from Force Awakened, or not Force Awakened, Force Unleashed. But just move it slightly to the side, and now all of a sudden it's off course. Let me see something like that. And I'm like, let's go. That's my little baby Yoda. Come on, man. But I genuinely, for me, it's always as cool as all of the storyline is. The relationship between him and Grogu, and that no words essentially are exchanged. It's just Mando, who doesn't talk a lot already, with the occasional no, don't do that, stop it, whatever, and then him just cooing. It is. To me, I think why people are so attracted to it. I know people love to make fun of it and be like, oh, XYZ is artsy fartsy, whatever. We are attracted to art like that, period. Like one of the best episodes of The Last of Us for me was the one with Nick Offerman, which again, minimal from season 1, minimal words exchanged for the most part. It's mainly just him being a survivalist and then finding someone to like live life with and all that kind of stuff. And again, it's because we're paying attention to the music or just little kind of cutscenes, stuff like that. Those are the things that I really live for and I really, really enjoy. So I just want to see more of that. I want to see more of that relationship here and just with bigger stakes.
I think what connects us to art is the humanity of stuff, and that is what you're describing, like the Nick Offerman episode, all these things. And I think we have that opportunity with the relationship between these two, this fascinating father-son dynamic, this adding them into this cosmic scale, but it's about the intimacy of the two of them, and I think that's really special. So putting Sigourney Weaver in there, putting Jeremy Allen White there, I'm excited for this. It's next year. It has been a while since we've had a Star Wars in theaters. So I'm very excited to have that. You're describing how similar the worlds are, but it is something about the movie theater experience and Star Wars in particular. The sound design of Star Wars is what gets me so amped, and hearing that on surround sound at that scale on that size screen, I'm ready for it. I'm excited for this one. I'd love to know in the chat what you guys are excited about at a celebration. You excited about this trailer? You excited about the Gosling announcement? You excited about the reconfirmation of some directors? Let us know in the chat. And also, there's 500 plus of you watching, and there is a mere 47 likes. That is an abysmal 1%. If you guys could just do me a favor, hit that like so we at least get, like 100, a fifth of you. It'd be awesome. Press the like while you're just pressing buttons. I'd love to know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Also, you guys are killing it with the $1, the $2, but also I'm seeing lots of 5 and 20. So those are great too. But you can still break it up plenty. Winston, what are you at?
I love it. I love it, you evil bastard.
I'm just coming. I'm just letting them know. Just 20,
less Superman, more Zod, motherfucker. That's the
$20 can be $21. I'm just saying.
Awesome Luthor shit. I love it, man. I gotta stop swearing.
What number are we at?
Right now, that is a great question. Again, we are we're sitting at 29, and again, the number to beat is 140 today, y'all. So we are definitely looking forward to that. So please.
Oh, apparently it's like 150 likes. I didn't refresh my page, so it's probably either way. I appreciate you liking. It was 47 probably when I logged in, so I could have the chat open. Well, before we get to our traditional Capes and Cowls content, the stuff that is the more cape and clad cowled characters, we're going to talk Daredevil. We're going to talk Fantastic Four, all that stuff. But first, we do have a wonderful pair of companies that has helped support this show. Want to dive into those, and that'll be the great Kristian Harloff coming back from the past, Force Ghost, and let's talk about these things.
It's kickoff time. What's that mean? It means the tax season is here, everybody. I know it's not the most exciting time. I get it. But it is a great opportunity to make some smart money moves. What is KIKOFF? They are the #1 credit building app in the App Store, and plans start at just $5 a month. There's no credit check. There's no hidden fees. There's no interest. For me, it's all about building my credit. I'm trying to get some stuff going this year with my family. It's why I moved. You got to build your credit. But for KIKOFF, I heard about them. We found out about them. The way that works with sponsors is like, do you think this would be a right fit for your show? And I said, would it be ever? And it changed my credit quick, because if your credit is under 600, you could jump to like 84 points with on-time payments. It's a legit credit hack. It's got no catch. It's got no credit check. It's got no hidden fees, and it has no interest. It's simple. You make on-time payments. Credit bureau sees good behavior, which can mean that your credit grows fast. So the beauty of it is that you can start building credit right away with your first month free with our special tax season promo. With AutoPay, you never have to worry about missing a payment, so you can build credit in your sleep. You sign up in minutes from your phone. There's no credit check to cancel any time. It's the #1 credit building app out there. It has over 10,000 positive reviews on the App Store, and 98% of them 5 stars. So tax season is the perfect time to take control of your financial future. For a limited time, get your first month free at getkickoff.com/Kristian. Do not wait. That is kickoff without the C. Get your first month free at KIKOFF.com/Kristian. So you must sign up via getkickoff.com/Kristian to activate this offer. Offer applies to new customers. First month only. Individual results may vary, subject to approval. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions may apply. KIKOFF credit score starts at $5 a month for 12 months. Average first year credit score impact of plus 84 points. Vantage score 3.0 between January 2023 and January 2024. For KIKOFF credit account users who started with a score below 600, who paid on time and had no delinquencies or collections added to their credit profile during the period. Late payments may negatively impact your credit score. I have 2 kids. I have a 7-year-old and a 13-year-old, and they're both learning about money. And for me, I'm always trying to teach them to be responsible with money. Because where do you think kids learn the most about money? Is it their parents, their teachers, or Taylor Swift? No, it's not Taylor Swift. 81% of their kids say parents. 81%. I wish I learned that kind of stuff when I was younger. My dad taught me. I didn't listen as much. I didn't have this kind of idea. And that's what ACORNS does. This episode is sponsored by ACORNS Early. April is Financial Literacy Month, the perfect time to start teaching your kids the value of money, and ACORNS Early make it easy with their smart money app and debit card for kids. ACORNS Early Chores Tracker teaches the kids how hard work does pay off. It sets up tasks in the app, it sets a payment amount, and you tick off the chore when it's done. Easy. Saving goals help kids turn saving into a habit. They can even choose their own target dates and turn on their optional autosave feature to help them get there. It's great because kids need a sense of independence, and they get it when they're spending what they earn with their very own debit card, and they get to choose from 35 plus customizable and designs. Kids can build up their money knowledge and their confidence with bite-sized financial lessons. And the best part is parents can keep track of where and when the kids are spending. You get real-time spend notifications, set your kids' spending limits, and instantly block lost or stolen cards. I love this. It works. It has been a game changer for my 13-year-old. She knows, she understands, she's starting to balance when to spend money, how to save money. It has worked. So if you're ready to help your kids grow money skills that'll last a lifetime, head on over to acornsearly.com/Kristian or download the ACORNS Early app to get started. Sign up now and your first month is on us. ACORNS Early Card is issued by Community Federal Savings Bank, member FDIC, pursuant to license by MasterCard International. TNCs apply. Monthly subscription fees starting from $5 per month unless canceled.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I love what money can be when wielded correctly. And I love that Kristian's like helping his kids learn early, because compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And you learn all that by learning about money. So get after those.
Compound interest. I just to piggyback a little bit, man. I'm actually a big fan of Acorns. I've been using them for a minute. Their original thing that they were doing is the similar to what a lot of banks do, where the keep the change sort of situation, where with your bank, what it'll do is whenever you swipe your card somewhere, if it's not an exact dollar amount, it'll put the change into your savings for you. What this does is what Acorns originally did was the same thing, except it puts it into like stocks for you, into like a portfolio. I am aware that right now the stock market is not the best place. However,
it's not sale.
Right. However, I was going to say the one, this kids feature that's there is massive. And two, as the stock market will eventually start to recover and things like that, Acorns has been so paramount for me, because us doing independent contract work, they actually started a like a 401k and IRA program with that too. So for long-term saving, things like that, like planning for the future, I have been a huge fan of Acorns, man. Real talk.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know about the Roth stuff and the 401k stuff. That's dope. Yeah, Acorns, love to have it. And KIKOFF, very much appreciated. I love when we actually have, sponsors we care about. It means a lot to me, because Kristian always says it, and like I'm offside going like, that's true. But now that I'm sitting here, haha, it's true. But yeah, I also want to talk about Fantastic Four, because any normal week, a big trailer would have been our headline. But since Celebration is actively going on, we wanted to make sure this gets to be the front loading after our little ad break. This is our most revealing story-wise of the Fantastic Four trailer. We actually got some dialogue. Obviously, we had a little bit of dialogue in the first trailer, but we got more of a sense of tone. We got a lot of shots of the Silver Surfer. We got our first real shot of terrestrial-bound Galactus. The trailer did a lot of stuff. I am exactly 50-50 on it, but I want to hear Winston's thoughts first, because I feel like I'm happy to be in the minority on this, because I would much rather most people be excited. The overall resounding positivity I'm all about, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah,
I mean, I kind of said this in my trailer reaction on my channel. Go check it out. It's youtube.com/SoAkiBlurred. I was like, it's fine. I have been very forward about how, the Fantastic Four aren't my favorite superheroes. So I only care up to a point. I have a lot of faith in these four actors. And what we saw, I did like that they really are building in what is true to the Fantastic Four, of them kind of being celebrity heroes, where everyone else, it depends. They still have some sort of love for them one way or the other, but there is something specific about this team that people really glom on to. That's why the moniker, the first family, all that kind of stuff. So I am here for what they are kind of setting up. I'm here for the mid-century modern, 60s futurist kind of alternate reality. I'm here for all of that, but I just was meh. I don't know. Even getting a real Galactus, I still was like, okay. I just didn't go, wow, I am so ready. I'm like, okay. And it very clearly, I don't think we've talked about this. Maybe we have. I think it was Superman, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four for me. It is now Thunderbolts, Superman, Fantastic Four. This didn't necessarily move the needle for me. I was just like, bet. And then kept it pushing. I don't know more about what you were feeling while you were you said you're 50-50 on it.
So I'm gonna give a hot take. I'm Superman, Thunderbolts, Jurassic, Fantastic Four.
You're just gonna throw in an extra one? If we're gonna do that, then I need to throw Sinners in, because I haven't seen it yet. I gotta throw in him. Him is actually trumping a lot of this shit, and you know how much I love this.
Jurassic is out in competition in that month, so I put it in. It's that July bubble.
I
mean, I'm more excited for the Accountant 2, frankly.
Fair.
That's actually, it's Superman Accountant 2 than the rest. But for me, the trailer, the reason I'm 50-50 is I'm a big Fantastic Four fan, and I'm a huge MCU fan. And it's really interesting. I set out to be more transparent about the positive and negative at the top of the year, I'm always going to front load positivity because I will maintain forever that any art existing is a miracle. And I always want to be the voice of positivity, especially when art gets finished and available. That's insane. But if I want to be honest about some of the negativity, the deluge of hate is so interesting because I did a series of videos with Greg, and literally half people calling me a shill, the ones commenting on us, half calling me a shill, half calling me a hater. And I'm like, how can I be both with the same words? And it's interesting because I am 50-50 on this. And I feel like people are only hearing the part that they're against. Like people are, if they hate this, they're hearing me love some stuff. And if they love this, they're hearing me hate some stuff. And the hate isn't even hate. It's just dislike. But we've got this like knee-jerk reaction to anything opposite to our opinion. And I think that's really dangerous when it comes to art, because the whole point of art is to share emotions, share in these things. So my experience with this is Fantastic Four is largely 4 characters right there in the title, and they're a family. And that family is the thing that makes it work or not. I personally think that the team dynamic of the first family is the most important team there is, because it's not just a team. It's a family. Without that chemistry on so many levels, as adventurers, as astronauts, as a family, as superhero team, it doesn't work. My issue is I have not seen a moment between Pedro and Vanessa Kirby that I feel like there is a Sue and Reed bond. I haven't seen a moment between Joseph Quinn and Vanessa Kirby that feels like a brother and sister bond. I haven't seen a moment. I've seen a really cool series of moments with, The Thing. I think Eben Moss-Bacroc looks Backrack. I don't know how to say his last name. So sorry, Eben Moss. But I've seen moments of him that are like, that's The Thing. I've seen moments of Sue Storm where I'm like, that's Sue Storm. But the connection I don't feel. And I know these are just trailers. I know this is just promo, but this second trailer is more about the relationships. That scene at the dinner, it didn't hit for me. And that's the scene they chose to promote with. The comedy felt very like, this is a joke, and not like actually funny. It felt like a punch. In comedy writing, it felt like it needed a number of punch-ups. It felt like the first draft of like, this is the funny, and then like you needed to add the funny. And like Human Torch to me is such a braggadocious, big, like you need to get to the point where you find through the evolution of the character his sensitivity. The beautiful thing for me about Human Torch is on the outside, he's a hothead. He's Human Torch. Yeah. On the outside, he's this, fast car driving, womanizing, And
that's, I hated that quote of, he's not a womanizer anymore. We're in a different world. I was like, do you understand that, like, you could technically say the same thing about Tony, but do you realize Tony evolved? Like, I would like to have seen the evolution.
If we start at his third act, there is no evolution. Exactly what you're saying. And my concern is, it's always been the dichotomy of the fact that he hung out with Peter Parker. The dichotomy is he's actually a very sensitive, aware boy. And that's always been
Peter is actually the womanizer. He always wants to be in love, but he's the quote-unquote TM nice guy. And next thing you know, he's out here cheating on all these women and just philandering all around. What I want to see, what I need Daredevil, Human Torch, and Spider-Man in just a one-off little special presentation where they go out, like they have a night out, man. Maybe they have to fight some crime, but they're trying to go pick up women because one of them broke up with somebody, and you get to see how philandering Peter is, while the other two are like, bro, you are a problem.
But that's the thing about like Johnny is he's a good guy, and he uses comedy as a defense mechanism. He uses his relationship with the family as like, I'm the wild card, but then he's always dependable. But if it starts with him being this sensitive, like artist boy with a Ken from the 70s doll haircut,
where do you grow?
And I get that we live in a different time, but we also don't have, and this is the thing that I'm getting a lot of crap for, is I think we also need people that are more aggressive and impulsive to have characters evolve for them so they get to grow up. Like, when I was a teenager, I was an absolute piece of crap. Like, I needed to see characters that I thought were cool become better people. If I didn't have the characters before they were better people, I wouldn't have become the man I am today. If we keep getting rid of all these characters that are like problematic, then we don't have the growth for the real people watching them that need the representation of go to therapy. Like, if you're already therapized, then like, where do we start with people that need it or never?
Can you imagine if one of the biggest movies of all time, right? Titanic, right? Can you imagine if the movie started off, because it was mainly Rose and all of that trauma, realizing, you know what, I'm not just going to be like put down, I'm going to stand up for myself, I'm going to whatever. She just came on the boat originally realizing, no, you are a piece of shit, I will not have anything to do with you, I am a better human, blah blah blah. Then it would literally just be her on the boat telling dude to go F himself, and then we just wait for, the boat to sink. Like, it's not like, you need to be able to get from point A to point Z. Otherwise, why am I watching this movie?
Yeah, and that these characters need arcs. So I'm just worried about, because of the quote, because of the scenes, because of the comedy, because of the sensitivity. And that is the first time I have felt where I'm going to get lumped in with the people that I hate on the internet because I want a certain type of character. And I think that type of character is important, but I think those certain type of people are going to be like, well, we've ruined another one. And then that gives them fuel. So I think it's tricky. And then the other thing is, like, Reed seems like a dude I want to have a beer with. And that is not Reed. Like, Pedro Pascal is just too charming and cool that, like, Reed needs to be aloof and standoffish and in his head. And instead I'm like, this guy's like, he seems so, like, not overconfident. He seems so like, what's happening? And that's not Reed. So I love half of the four.
It is in a certain way, in that I am so smart and that's where I'm at. And that's where you can sometimes end up with a Maker type situation. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not, but it needs to be the confidence in that I just know what I'm doing, and not necessarily from a social element. Because I even think back to the original 2 Fantastic Four movies we got with Eon.
Yeah,
and it was the same thing. It was, he was really aloof. But the minute he was like, but then the quantum physics, this, that, and the other was do this, that, and the other. It's like, because if we do that, I know it's going to do blah, 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 blah. I need that Reed. That Reed has to always be there.
I haven't seen. And, like, he's, like, silent and pondersome, but, like, not in a way that feels arrogant. And all the things you're saying, I didn't get. So, like, I love the world they built. I love Galactus. I love the scope of this trailer. It feels so like to me, the Fantastic Four are awe and fun. It's adventure that is fun, but also awe. We got the awe, but I'm not feeling the fun. I'm not feeling the family dynamic yet. So I'm like 70%, because I'm 50% on the family, and then I'm the extra 20% comes from the scope and the Alex Ross. It feels like an Alex Ross painting. It feels so like, wow. Yeah. But I'm really worried about the other. So I don't know. We'll see. This trailer didn't rock me like it did a lot of people. I'm curious what the chat guys let us know. How did you feel about the trailer? I'm really curious how people feel overall about this lead up. Like, we are now 2 months, about to be we're at 2.5, almost 3 months away, but, like, we're about to be in that, like, we're going to get too much stress.
To talk about time anymore. Like, I think that is the lesson that was learned from this, is that you're banned from talking about time, because whenever you do, you just remind me of my mortality.
3 months, 90 days. If we're only alive, say, till we're 80 and we're in our 30s, we've only got so many more chunks of 3 months left. Frankly, we only get 4 of those a year times the next 40 years we got. We're in our, last.
So Daredevil ended.
I was wondering what you were going to put up. I was literally vamping to give you the chance to.
Any number of things. I was about to hit you with one of these.
Motherfucking Batman!
I was just so upset. But let's just talk about Daredevil, because you're really pissing me off, bro.
Speaking of things ending like our lives, Daredevil Born Again season 1 has ended.
Let me. I wonder if they've got a spoiler talk situation up here. Let me see if I can. I'll make something, just because we won't go super deep. But if people don't want, like, we're gonna need to be able to talk some stuff if we're gonna really go over this recap. So, give me a little vamp. I'll pull some. Oh, here we go. So, I already had something. Great.
Oh, well, there we go. Vamped. For me, episode 8 and 9 were peak of the season. 1, 8, and 9. No coincidence. Those are the ones that were the new Vision without having to use pieces of the old Vision. Now, the 2 through 7 had lots of merit for me, but they weren't as strong as where we landed. The end of Daredevil has me more excited for season 2 than, like, I thought possible, because of how much I love the original show, because of how much I liked this new show. Season 2, I think, is in incredible hands, because they won't be playing puzzle pieces with, what they had to use so far. And I think overall, the visual style, I said the whole season, like, this felt like a volume 4, like 1 through 3 had a different inker and artist, and now they got a similar continuity, but with a new team. All that really worked for me. And I loved that it, at the end of the day, is Kingpin and Daredevil being born again, but also the show being born again. It took until the end of the season for the fully formed show and leads to be born again. and Punisher, man. Holy crap. What'd you think?
I overall enjoyed the show, enjoyed the first season. I loved seeing they just let Punisher actually off the leash, maybe more violent than we've ever seen, like in any of the previous iterations. And they went for it in the Punisher show, but he just was allowed to just go, let alone Kingpin. I will never forget in that first season where he's slamming that dude's door over and over, heading the door over and over and over again, the car door. But we watched him just dismantle, just rip a head in half, more like crunch it in half, and everybody around them being like even though they were evil, all of the Punisher hit squad, death vigilante squad being like, oh, did I sign up for? Like literally them all being killers and being like, bruh. So I enjoyed that, right? What my problem is personally, I felt very unfulfilled by the time it was over, because what it felt like to me was a similar situation that I felt watching the show Titans that happened, that was on DC Universe and all that previously, where season strong, moving strong, and then the finale felt like a penultimate episode because we didn't necessarily conclude anything. We more just set up for the next season. And so my only beef there was all we got was Daredevil and Punisher fought some dudes. Mayor Kingpin is now Mayor Kingpin. And Daredevil goes, we need an army. That felt very unfulfilling for me. So as wonderful as the episode was, and I get why people were saying it, I did not get on the same train as everyone else that goes, that was a fantastic finale. I don't agree. I think it was a fantastic episode. I think it was a terrible finale because I don't feel like anything yes, they were born again. I get it, both the Kingpin and Daredevil, but I don't feel like we did anything. You, at the end of the day, used Muse too fast, and how that whole thing played out. You used White Tiger too fast, though you're kind of tipping your hat to maybe the niece taking the mantle there. You kind of went through too many paces too quickly, and even though you could call it a character study between Daredevil and Kingpin, I don't feel like we did anything. That's just me. But I understand why people were like, no, perfect. It was great. I'm not there.
To counter that for me, it felt like the Dark Knight ending, where it's the moment of realizing that the character has to be more than he's been, and now he is the force to go forward that sets up the Defenders and things. But to me, the arc was concluded with the realization that, he can't just sacrifice himself. That isn't enough. Like, he needs to be stronger than that. And to me, Punisher realizing he cares. I love Karen coming back for that, Frank Castle Karen dynamic, for Frank to go like, you're right, I'm not just doing this out of vengeance. I do care. That was his arc. And then Kingpin realizing like, I'm the mayor, but I will always be the Kingpin. I've got the white suit on and I'm murking heads as the mayor. So to me, like, the Born Again is absolutely a factor, but it to me gave me that end volume 1 cliffhanger, but it felt resolved. Like, I felt like I got an end. I don't not hear what you're saying.
No, I know that. My counter to that would be, if we were getting season 2 in a couple of months, this literally feels like a to be continued type scenario, then I could wrap my head around it a little differently. Kind of like Squid Game. I wasn't happy where they ended technically season 2, but they really made it seem that it's, even though the next one is season 3, because of the distance of when it's coming out and where that cliffhanger was, it was pause and then we're coming back. Same thing with like the end of Cobra Kai. Pause right here. Yeah, we had a major thing happen, but we will be literally right back type situation. This felt like, nah, here's your season. We're not getting this for another year and some change. It did not feel like a satisfied ending to a meal. It felt like I got my salad, I got my soup. You brought out the garnishes, but I didn't really get my meat and potatoes. But you're like, dinner's over. We'll see you the next time you come by. What? No, I pay for my steak, bro.
I personally like when TV feels serialized like comics.
Sure.
To me, the ongoing nature of TV is what's captivating versus movies. I think we've been making TV shows too much like movies, where in the 90s and 2000s, like Friends, a sitcom would be like, oh no, the marriage isn't going to happen. Tune in next year. That's awesome to me. And I think today that would be argued like, didn't finish the story. Is Ross going to marry Rachel? I think that's dope. I think that's the strength of TV over movies. I think the problem is, especially Marvel has made shows into long movies that when they end, they're like, end of story. I like when things end and you're like, I'm on the last page. What's going to happen? Like, I just think we need to make TV more like TV and movies more like movies.
I hear you. And my minor counter to that would be, I need it to be treated more like the way traditional TV was then. And if you're going to do that, it needs to feel like this felt like winter finale, but we're not coming back after the holiday. That is my concern. You know what I'm saying? That's why it feels unfulfilled, because this is our entire run. Like if you had a comic run, honestly, that was like, and then we'll see you in 18 months, you'd be furious. You know what I'm saying?
They are shooting. Like, it's not like they didn't have season 2 already.
Oh, I fully get it. I know it's coming back. It just did not feel like the end of a season. It felt like a mid-season break. That is more what I mean by that, is that there was this what I caution for TV in particular. You can do it with like a prequel per se, because we know what's then coming next and stuff like that. But this felt like this was all an advertisement for the next season. That is where I get thrown off by it. Now, it doesn't mean it wasn't good storytelling, and it doesn't mean that there wasn't an incredible character development and awesome action, all that. I loved what I saw. I just was concerned where it felt unfinished for what this was supposed to define, if that makes sense.
I hear you. And I hear that opinion. I think we just come from a different place of what our goal of TV in this format is.
I'll put it to you this way. If the way you would have been able to solve that problem, if the White Tiger storyline had been longer, if the Muse storyline had been longer.
If Muse had gone to therapy and had that dynamic build up, I don't disagree there at all.
That would have changed it, because it literally then felt, I know that the Kingpin is the big bad, so you're setting that up for the next. That's great. Muse should have been around until the penultimate episode, or even this last episode. You know what I'm saying? Versus the idea that like we killed him like 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And then it was a weird kind of situation of, we're going to bring in Bullseye, and Vanessa's thing is, it just, you then also solve the mystery of the port, and then the port is just automatically, we're not even going to really dive into that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It sets up the port, but I hear you. That's a cliffhanger about the port. Yeah, no, I hear you. I like the idea of the international waters thing teeing up a big scope for next season, but I also hear how that felt like you were like, but now we're just starting. I get that.
Yeah. Because I'll even say this, because you like, I know we got to move on. You brought up the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, the Joker was defeated. Now, he left the hanging chad of like, obviously, if we still had Heath would have been in the next one. It left the hanging chad of just like, you have opened Pandora's box, but this main conflict is over.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then it opened up the new conflict of now the Batman's a vigilante, and we got to look at all this other stuff, but it opened that up. That was all I'm saying. I just needed a finite end to what we were talking about. That's it.
Okay. I feel you. I want to give some love real quick before we dive into all the super chats here. Crystal DW fan throwing in a series of $2 supports, bringing our numbers up. That's how it's done.
We're at 63, man. We're pushing.
Okay,
we are a little under halfway there. We need to beat 140, y'all. So we are just under halfway there. So please keep it coming. Appreciate you.
So 7 away from halfway. We're 77 from tied. We got this, especially with these beautiful little supports. Thank you very much. Let's get to the super chats. Let's get rolling.
Yeah, let's do it. Let me take this off first. Sorry. Here, why don't you plug your stuff first? I know we always do that before we get into the questions.
Beautiful. I have a YouTube page that focuses on comics, on movies, and on TV, but it's coming from the lens of reading 50 to 70 comics a week. I kid you not. This is 1 week, less than 1 week, because I have some stuff digital. This is what I read in analog in 1 week. So I read all these, and then I give you my 9 favorite comics every single week. And I also give you all the news from that comic expertise lens. So that's my weekly live show, but I'm also reviewing every big major movie that I'm excited about. I'm reviewing, currently I'm going to be doing The Last of Us. I just finished Daredevil. I'm going to be doing Andor. So lots of TV stuff over there as well. And I also have a podcast called Koycast, which is literally me talking about all of the biggest news in pop culture in a general sense with my buddy who's a director and filmmaker, so that the lens of filmmaker versus film watcher. I also have all my stuff at Real Rejects. I also have a little show called DC Studios Showcase. Look at the size of this comic. And this is my show. It's on Max every other week.
You make the same face everywhere you go.
This is my face.
No, not just your face. I mean, but the little, like, the Rock eyebrow raise from the side.
This is what I know to be true. So you can hunt me down on Max and on Max's YouTube. You can hunt me down on all sorts of other mediums. And I've got an announcement coming on the 24th for even more stuff. So I don't sleep. I just make content. And hopefully one day I'll get a house. There it is. Oh, it's me on a comic book.
I know, right? You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms, man. Did an awesome... for those of you that have a missing, a longing for the movie trivia schmodown, where you probably met a lot of us, I did a millennial geek trivia like matchup yesterday with some really fun people here on the internet, man. So definitely check that out. I simul streamed it on my page, so it's there as well. If you want to check that out. As far as some of the other stuff coming up, as soon as we wrap here, my my Him teaser trailer will be up. My Fantastic Four trailer is up. I am going to be, it's Easter, so it's going to be hard for me to do some game streaming like I was doing previously, but I'm going to try if I can a little bit this weekend. And then a lot of other just like great stuff coming up. And I know we said that Spill the Tequila was supposed to drop this past Tuesday, myself and Rocha. It is coming this particular Tuesday. I had a family emergency this week. It feels like they keep coming, so we had to push it one more week. Again, I sincerely apologize, but barring no more hospitals and no more technical difficulties, we will see you on Tuesday, man. So let's jump into these questions. All right, let me pull this up. We are at 73. Y'all already got us up 10 in that time, or 9 in that time. Thank you. 140. We can do this shit. I believe in all of us collectively.
It's happening this week. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. We're 68 away from the win.
Yeah, right. All right, here we go. So Coogler surprised us at the Universal AMC last night. Wow, lucky you, man. Dope. Damn.
That man has the thickest California accent I've ever heard in my life.
He from the hood, bro. He just
like blood.
But that's why I love him so much, is the fact that like he is one of the smartest, well-versed directors, and he's nothing but himself. And it's this idea that like it doesn't matter where you're from, if you're good at what you do, like that is I love it. I love it, man. He's
also like so kind-spirited, like his energy is so positive, and like I just love the dude is just like so welcoming, but also like I'm smart. Like I love that he's the opposite of Reed Richards. All that smart seems welcoming.
No, that's true. Sympathy of all things. Thank you so much, Sinners. To 2025, what Dune it was to 2024, and Oppenheimer to 2023, film of the year. I can't believe what Coogler and company were able to accomplish. Dude, everybody. Oh, there's a little bit more. Loved how Sinners dealt with opposites, smoke and stack, and definitely by one of those traits together to create a unified personality. I hope that wasn't a spoiler. I see it tonight.
It's allegorical, not direct.
Okay, got you. I am so excited. Everybody that I've seen has been like, bruh. So like I am, including people that I know don't go to movies all that often, being like, I want to go back right now. So I am so ready for this, man. One way or the other. I am a huge Coogler fan, personally. I got to see it at the true 70mm City Walk IMAX where he popped in last night. And dude, are you seeing it in IMAX? I am seeing it in IMAX, but not the 70. I'm gonna do my second showing. I'll do 70 because the only ones that were available for 70 were like the first 2 rows, and I was like, not on that big screen. Seen it. That's seeing corners. No, but the aspect beautiful, like the ratio jumps and stuff are so emotional. It's so good. I can't wait to hear what you think, man. It's so good, dude. Cannot wait. All right, from Zeus Fleming, thank you so much. Star Wars big news isn't Gosling or Levy, it's John Troper writing. I'm not familiar with Troper's work.
I love that whoever this is, this super chat is from someone that's like a ride or die. Because as a surface level fan, it's going to be Gosling and Levy. But as someone that knows Star Wars, that probably is very exciting, and that makes me happy for you.
I love it. Go, pal. I started the Mayfair Witches show with Alexandra Daddario yesterday, and 5 minutes in, she says, "Remember the show Blade penetrates the shield, so I'm in." The slow blade penetrates the shield, so I'm in. All right. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Mayfair Witches.
I'm not either. She is incredible, man. I feel like Daddario doesn't get enough credit. Like people think of her as, hot, which she is, but she's also so good that she kept up in like True Detective with peak Harrelson and McConaughey. Like she is such a good actress.
It's from Anne Rice's books. I guess it's on AMC. Okay. I might have to check that out because I do think she's really, really talented, man.
Interview with the vampire stuff. All right, interesting.
Nice. Legend MM600. Haha, he's a badass host. All right.
That's what I do. I appreciate it.
Connor Mullis, Corky and Wilson, my brothers from another mother. That's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Austin B. Boss was on my neck yesterday, so I can't stick around today. Here's some drive-by support. Much love. Only drive-by support, man.
I appreciate you. Yeah. Only support. We were talking about California. Let's keep those drive-bys to support.
Have you seen that one dude that went viral because he instead of cat calling, she yells out compliments. So be be like, "Hey girl,
about here."
Yeah, exactly. "Hey girl, you look like you do your taxes on time." Like just
He's doing red carpets and stuff now, man. That guy's blown up. I'm so happy for him.
He's doing what?
He's doing red carpets now. They got him on megaphone red carpets and
I saw that for the Billboard Awards. He's like, "Hey girl, you look like you put out a song of the year." She was like, "Thank you. You know what's up."
It's so wholesome. I love that stuff.
Hidi Haikup. With Starfighter, we are getting 2 1-2 punches of Marvel Star Wars double features with Doomsday and Mando in 2026 and Secret Wars and this in 2027. What do you think is the next Star Wars after that, Rey or Mangold?
I'm gonna go Mangold.
Probably Mangold, honestly. I think unless Rey makes an appearance in this because they do say that there is another female main character that's being involved. If maybe if Ryan Gosling, if this is years after the sequels, Ryan Gosling learned obviously from Rey. And then she pops in to give some sort of advice. But that'd be interesting because she's significantly younger than Gosling. So that would actually be really interesting to be like, "Oh yeah, I trained you." Like it's just, you never know. Maybe she trains adults because we're doing new Jedi stuff. But
if it's after 9, it could canonically work. She appears, and then it could be a Rey from there. I could see that.
Yeah. Zeus Fleming. Who would you cast Gosling as in MCU and DCU? I mean, I have said he should be Mr. Sinister. I still think he would crush that. I don't know about the DCU. I'll let you can do both, but I'll tee that one up to you.
I'm gonna say, man, MCU is tricky because there's so many people already cast. I think he'd be a great Richard Rider Nova. I think he's got that. He's a movie star and he's got that confidence in spades. Like he's so much, and I think Richard Rider should be. Who I'd love to see him as in DC, and it's a character that I don't know if they'll ever make. But if they ever do, we would need someone like Gosling as Animal Man. I think a really meta Animal Man, because he's so funny and he's also so stoic. Like he would crush it. I want a really meta Animal Man with Gosling.
I would love to see him as the Question. But I don't think there'd be a situation where he would never show his face. Because doesn't
Gosling? Yeah.
But honestly, the him just that's the question. Just all the time would be hysterical because it would feel like he's playing Ken again, but as a superhero now.
No, I love that one too. Yeah, that's our answers.
All right. Artem, Star Wars Starfighter is not a Rebel story set in the 3 to 6 period, which is already a win. Hopefully in 6 months, Levy won't realize that he has a scheduling conflict. Disney finally has an original story. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, let's keep scheduling conflicts out of this one. I really hope this one goes, man. I'm actually so excited for this.
Absolutely. Y'all, we bumped up to 84. Come on. I love it. We're moving closer and closer, y'all. 140 is the goal. Boston lady. Happy marathon weekend, Boston strong. Absolutely, man.
I've always wanted to run a marathon, but I'm such a heavy boy.
I'm never doing that. That is a hard pass for me. Connor Mullis, gotta support the brothers. Appreciate that, Connor. Absolutely. Christopher Brickner, people in the film bubble believe that Star Wars should move forwards in time beyond the Skywalkers. Star Wars Starfighter film will show how much interest in that idea the general audience has. That's a good point.
I'm very ready to see if we can escape Skywalker, and I hope this shows we can. And I think Gosling is the way. Like it's I think the right movie to test those waters. I agree. I love that point.
I also look. I think the only thing that people want is to understand that it's Star Wars and that it has something to do with something. People want to be able to look at it and go, oh, I see how this connects to the grander scheme of things, but it doesn't necessarily mean it always has to be Skywalkers. It could be anything else that's kind of going on, which is why I also feel like you don't need to always focus on the Jedi, but having lightsabers, which is a major element, needs to always be around. The Force needs to always be around. Light speed, Starfighter battles, those are the elements that you need. And so just tie it to something. It doesn't have to be the Skywalkers, but just tie it to something. I think it'd be good.
When I'm thinking of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not thinking of Captain America. Like, I want some growth in the universe.
Absolutely. But at the same time, when you're watching the Guardians of the Galaxy, you may not be thinking about Captain America, but if they mention, Loki's failure. Ooh, shit, Loki. Okay. So we all of this connects somehow. I remember Loki. That dude was crazy. Like, that's it.
Yeah, that's all I
want. Gosling as Barry Allen and Hyperion are my picks.
How did we already get to Goss? I just answered that like 2 seconds ago.
No. I guess it was a follow-up. It just wasn't.
Okay.
They didn't let me know that it was a follow-up, so they're just saying.
I was like, "Are we already done?" No.
So Gosling is Allen, and then Hyperion.
Those are both great. Barry Allen would be. I mean, I think we need to give Flash a little time.
Yeah.
And I don't love Hyperion, but if someone's going to get me to, it's Ryan, and that's also an asset. So I like those.
I don't love him as Hyperion. The Hyperion that I'm familiar with is like a big boy and a dick. And like, I'm not saying that Ryan couldn't, but like, that is where we don't need another Brolin. But I could see Brolin if he hadn't been Thanos and Cable, could have been actually a really good Hyperion. It would have been older, but Alan, the Reacher. You put that dude as Hyperion.
Yeah, I would say Alan Richardson would be Hyperion all day.
He would crush that. Okay, Connor Mills, time to play dirty. You guys got to win. Hell yeah, Connor. Keep sending in the little baby ones. Say pop, 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 pop. Connor, them up. All right, Dan V900. I legitimately had no idea Star Wars Celebration was going on until I saw the news on Twitter after I got out of Sinners last night. I know it wasn't just me. There's not a lot of hype going in. Yeah, I feel like the people that are super, super like in Star Wars like that were ready, especially with it being in Tokyo. So I saw a number of people being like, oh my God, first time in Japan, or I'm so glad I get to go back. But I agree. I think that Star Wars is a little bit on the back burner right now. I don't know if you were.
I knew about it because of friends going, or I wouldn't have.
Right. Same. Absolutely. Mild-mannered comic nerd. Hey guys, this blew my mind. Someone on YouTube did this video. All the Avengers movie logos are the color of the Infinity Stone. Avengers Doomsday is green, Time, and Secret Wars should be orange, Soul in the 7th movie. Interesting.
That's really cool. I've never looked at the logos like that.
I didn't either, and now I'm going to go do that while the next one comes up. Hold on. Dennis Hoffman, any fave Star Wars comics? Loved what Gabe Hardman did on Star Wars Legacy right before Marvel got the license back.
I think I've only read 2. I've read the Vader run. I think it was Charles Soule, and I really liked the early Vader stuff. I fell off it just because of volume of comics. And then the other one was I think it was Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It was like late 90s, early 2000s, and it was dope. But I haven't read a lot of Star Wars books, but I hear they're fantastic, and that makes me happy.
Wow, they really did it. Though, hold on, let's see. I'll show you. The only thing about it that throws me off just a little bit is the fact that, like, did it not? It opened a new thing. Is the fact that, like, Age of Ultron, I almost wish this had been switch these. Age of Ultron, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but Age of Ultron should have been yellow. I know this is kind of matching Ultron's eyes, but if it's yellow, just because we were using the Mind Stone.
Right.
And then have Infinity War be red because, you changed reality. You wiped out half the universe. Power
That's a
Stone
great
to
point.
finally take out Thanos. Now we're messing with all the different timelines and universes here, and then fighting for the soul of the characters. If they had just switched this actually would have been perfect, because this is just, you opened up a brand new door. We were using this the space stone here and teleporting in aliens and all that. It literally would have been perfect if you just switched these two. Holy crap!
That's so cool though. The fact that like whether it's a happy accident or not, I love that. Great point. Someone on the internet.
Absolutely. Support, fellas, going to see Sinners tonight. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Christopher Brickner, for Star Wars Starfighter, with declining interest in Star Wars since 2015, especially internationally, I think the budget shouldn't pass 150. That would be smart.
I think it's going to be 1 to 150. I think that's absolutely what they're going for, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Starfighter has me excited. Something fresh. I agree. I fully agree. GoPal, I saw Pixies on their 04 reunion tour, and they made everyone check their phones. That was a short-lived phenomenon. People were worried about checking the phones in 04?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's only gotten exponentially worse. I love at comedy shows checking my phone because I don't think about my phone for 2 hours of comedy. I hate that if I have my phone, I'm going to think about it. So I think checking phones. I have no wedding date plan, but when I do, part of the invite is going to be letting people know it's going to be a phone-free wedding. So either they can leave them, like I'll have a place for them safely. Like I'm not going to be reckless, but I don't want phones out at my wedding. I want people present, and I'm trying to build a hook on my wall to hang my phone up like a wall corded phone. Like I'm done with this thing. So last night it was so great to be at a concert where it was minimal phone. I do have the dopest video because I was selective when I took my phone out. I've been very like frustrated because I've been on the internet too much. Not on Twitter and my usual stuff, but like people coming at me because of my Superman stuff and my Fantastic Four stuff, like personally. So I went in the mosh pit last night for the first time in like 15 years. I haven't moshed in a long time. So I moshed and I briefly crowd surfed. And I have a video of DJ Provi of Kneecap coming out and joining the mosh. And then as he crowd surfs, me going up, and it's a video of me going up right alongside DJ Provi. And then I cut and I was like, that's worth taking my phone out. That was crazy.
Dude, I mean, that's pretty dope. I am going to laugh so hard if later today or tomorrow I get a text from you being like, uh-oh, them old millennial bones is feeling this now. Dude, all that moshing.
I'm Kristian after punching that thing. Like I'm sore as hell. Like
dude,
I'm like,
there's a fantastic TikTok reel going around right now of like these like 4 millennial women being like going out tonight to show all them Gen Zs and whatnot that we still got it, and then it immediately cuts to her being like, and then realizing the next 3 days like with like a tissue up her nose and like her trying to drink tea that like I'm gonna have a headache for the next 3 days. I gotta order all this food. I had to skip work, like all this shit.
I had one drink and I had an interview this morning at 9:30 and I woke up like, oh, why did I have one drink? Like it's
dude.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I do a yearly vacation to Palm Springs with friends, which is just debauchery, just drinking nonstop and hanging out at the pool. I'm going to see Kendrick in Vegas because it was cheaper to get tickets there and to just go to Vegas and to try and do it here in LA. And then for our anniversary, we're it's delayed from our last anniversary. We're going to Mexico for a few days. I'm excited for all of them. All of those cases are presenting any sort of drinking there. I am concerned I will shut down when I come back, bro.
Brace time after. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
That's dope. I'm glad you got some dope stuff coming.
I need the break. My brain is fried, man. Connor, happy Superman Day. Thank you guys. We're getting close. We're at 105. We're only 35, 106. We're only 34 away, y'all. Come on. So 35 to win, 34 to tie. Please, come on. We can do this. GoPal. What bands have you seen the most times live? For me, Distillers ×3, Audioslave 2, White Stripes 2, Donna's 2.
I've seen the World Inferno Friendship Society 4 times, but the lead singer passed away. I've seen Mindless Self-Indulgence 11 times.
Damn.
I've seen Linkin Park 6 times.
I'm so sad I never got to see them before Chester passed, man.
The last time I saw them was at a charity event for typhoon relief, and it was 100-person venue.
Wow.
I got to see an intimate Linkin Park show where I was like 3 rows from stage. It was incredible. I think those are probably the biggest. Like those are some pretty big numbers. I used to be a huge concert guy. Oh, I've seen Yellow Wolf 8 times. That's probably the most hip hop. Like 8 times for a hip hop artist is a lot for me.
Yeah, I've seen Gambino 5 or 6 times. I know that's not a
Dude.
band, that's an individual. I've seen Run the Jewels 3 times. I will see Beyonce twice in about for the second time in about a week. And then I've seen the Temptations like 8 times because of my mom. I've seen so many iterations of
That's
the
so
Temptations,
cute,
bro.
Yeah, I love that.
Christopher Brickner, solo shows Star Wars can have issues after filming starts. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
You're not wrong. Oh, I've seen Slipknot and Papa Roach both thrice. That's a lot because those are big stadium bands.
Nice. Okay. Roger, I already watched Superman versus the Elite this morning. I'm going to watch the Donner cut of Superman 2 and finish with Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. I do love that movie. To the end of the day, what's your guys' favorite version of Supes outside of comics? The Justice League Unlimited run Superman, especially because there is some nuance once you get to Unlimited, since Luthor is really messing with him. There's the whole thing where Argus and Amanda Waller are happening and stuff like that, and Superman's getting super paranoid, no pun intended, and like starts throwing hands with Captain Marvel because of it, or Shazam because of it, and things like that. I love that one, and I love that universe you're talking about. I actually like Batman and Superman. Oh my God, I don't remember the name of the film all of a sudden. The one before Apocalypse. Apocalypse is good, but the one where it's Luthor becomes president and it's the two of them having to fight off vigilantes and villains and all that to try and get to President Luthor. I really, really love that movie.
I don't know the animated nearly as well, but I love that universe. I need to like do it proper. That sounds dope.
Look, man, it's hard enough for me editing these reactions. If you want to do something like that, I would do that. I know you already watch a bajillion with the rejects and your own stuff, but
dude, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Superman in a theater today.
Oh, nice. Wait, you're seeing Superman?
Like, no, not the new one, like Dick Donners.
Oh, okay. I was like, bro.
Just casually dropping that at the end of an episode. No, I'm seeing
I worked for DC Bastard, just like, oh yeah, and they're just gonna do a screening for us.
I'm just gonna pop in. Don't worry
It'll probably happen once we get closer, but for now, I was like, Renetta W.
You're in so much trouble. Like the DC snipers are like, seeing it in April, are you?
Renetta W. Season 2 of Light and Magic doc on Disney Plus. I love season 1. Can't wait for Andor. Each 3-episode arc represents a single year. This season will be fire. Nice. I
cannot wait.
Connor Millis, my cat actually likes you guys. Big chilling with me right now. Yes, guys. We're getting so much closer. 115. Come on, baby. Come on. All right. Googly. I think Jonathan Malkovich is Dr. Doom, and he steals Tony Stark's body. Dr. Doom could switch bodies in the comics, and it allows them to get RDJ back as Iron Man. Did you see the short I sent you last night? You were at a concert, so probably not. Okay. There's a fantastic short that came on that somebody, like, they have a theory that they did. I don't love that they used AI to explain it, but like the voice, but the theory was great, where they go, why is it if, they were like, it took me 5 years to figure this out. Strange says there's 14 million and like 1 different ways that this fight goes, and only 1 they succeed. And then someone goes, well, wait a minute. When you get to the multiverse of madness, they had also succeeded. What are you talking about? Like, Doctor Strange actually was able to kill Thanos with the Illuminati, so that was another victory type situation. So that's not necessarily true. But this theory was like, what it is that Doctor Strange being able to see all those different like ways and how that plays out, and seeing how he turns out, it's the only one with the most positive type element there. But specifically that if Tony survives in any of these fights, because there's probably other fights in which they win, that he gets so hell-bent like he did in previous movies to never let that happen again. He goes a little too far. And so the idea is this particular universe where Doom is going to come from is Tony going, no, I have to stop it. And he like goes, and the only way I can stop our universe from not getting destroyed is destroy all the rest of these universes. And so he becomes Doom in a sense because he is X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not going to let my universe get destroyed. It was like a very interesting kind of situation. I would say watch it because I probably didn't explain it quite as well, but I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, no, I'll check it out. I'm very curious in the conceit because that is a decent. I don't think it's a good casting decision. So I'm very
Well, I
excited to
agree
have
with
the
you on
movie.
that. I would have liked somebody else to be Doom, but if we're gonna find a way to salvage it, I was like, that's not a
Interesting.
terrible, because then you find a way to pull it back genuinely to said through line there and close the plot hole at the same time.
Yeah, I
So,
like that combo.
yep. Why is Hollywood forcing Joseph Quinn on us? That's rude.
I like Joseph Quinn, but I don't think he's Human Torch, and that's okay. I liked him
Fair.
in other things, and just you can be a good actor and not the character. And that's I don't have anything against dude.
That's how I felt about old boy in Brave New World, the new Falcon. I think he's a fantastic actor. I don't necessarily think it's his casting. I think it's more the direction of it. So, like, in general, I don't take anything away from him for that. I more am just like, I don't like this, if that makes sense.
I feel that.
Kenya King, the general audience is going to be so confusing. Mr. Fantastic in trooper armor running around with Baby Yoda. What MCU universe is this?
That man is Disney gallivanting. What a year he's having.
He's doing it again, bro. The Last of Us is out again, and now Fantastic Four, and then, like, your man, no, like, he's cooking, bro. Oh man,
I hope he has the nicest house.
If you see this means my plain internet is working. I love that.
Crystal's the one coming in with all the support, so I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Crystal. Hey, guys, I see Rocha is in the lead. We need to fix that. Hashtag beat Rocha. You're damn right. 120. We are 20 away for a tie, 21 for a victory. Let's do this. We got, 29 minutes to pull that off. I know we can, y'all.
We're doing it.
Connor coming in. Hashtag beat Rocha. He already knows what it is. Let's go. Come on. Crystal, again, really like the Fantastic Four trailer. I love that for you. I'm glad you did. I want everybody to love things. The Daredevil show is so good. Wish more people love it. Yeah. How much do you feel? Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to be in this mode. My bad. How much do you feel it's people being contrarian and actually not liking it as much?
I think it's really popular to hate stuff, and it's not necessarily hating. I think there's people that want to hate Marvel. I think there's people that want to hate comic stuff, and I think there's people that want to hate stuff. It's just really popular, and it's the most popular emotion right now. Like, I think it is the best time to be a hater, but unless you're good at it, like Kendrick, find another hobby.
Hey man, I hate. I always akin to like alcohol. I'm like, yo, go home, hater. You drunk? Like, you need to go take a nap. Go like everybody wants to throw woke around. I was like, y'all need a nap. Everybody, just go to sleep.
Bukowski did his best writing drunk, and that's Kendrick. Use that hater, but if you're not good at it,
dude. Somebody was even saying with Peekaboo that the line about 80 points like a Kobe game, that afterwards when 7-6-2, like, yeah, like make you stiff like a board, that it's what Kobe had 7 threes, like 6 rebounds and like 2 assists in that game as well. And I was like, someone was like, that's a stretch. I'm like, no, it's Kendrick. I truly believe he came up with the 80 points like a Kobe game, and then was like, let me just look at his stat line, and was like, oh, like, I truly believe
it's not a stretch if it's that specific. It's just like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Matt Thomas coming here to say to go watch Winston dominated trivia on his YouTube channel, Pop Culture Trivia, Games, Movie, bro, you go watch it, y'all. Your boy was cooking, and I even said, I was like, look, I love movies. I have always loved movies, but I always watched the ones that I was super into. I didn't necessarily always have the greatest, like, full-blown A to Z, like, film encyclopedia knowledge that a lot of the major champions were. But pop culture, when I tell you I was spitting video game facts, I was dropping music facts, I was dropping TV facts, I was crushing, bro. Absolutely destroying fools. But thank you. Yes, please go watch that.
I managed Winston because he's good at it, but I was never good at it.
Well, Stacy was the good one. I was the eye candy. That's all. That's the lie. Dude. Your ass with the shirt open and the oil.
I was Jeff Goldblum, dude. I was making sure I was eye candy. That was so fun.
Crystal coming back in. Doctor Who came back to Disney Plus last week, and it's so good. I'm really loving what they're doing this season. I've never gotten to Doctor Who. Are you a Doctor Who fan?
I'm not. I hear I'd love it because I love Loki, but it's one of those things that's so far in, and it's so, like, I just have too many fandoms. I'm so busy.
Yeah. And especially knowing it's like 20, 30 seasons long.
I've seen 2 episodes and they're amazing, but I can't.
Nice. Mr. ND Fanatic, Coy, have you been reading the Alien Marvel comic? I saw some of it.
Dude, there's an Alien comic and there's a few spin-offs and then there's an Alien Avengers comic. And the Alien Avengers is literally like Jonathan Hickman writing Asad Rabis on art, and it's so cinematic and big and great. All the Alien stuff's been impressive. All the Predator stuff's been impressive. So yeah, I'm reading them all. They're great.
No, they've been fun for sure. Winston, any car update on the car? Thank you for asking. The car is doing well. The Repel. Today is the day that I got to pay the rest of the fee. I'm beside myself. So much money. So I'm probably not going to do another marathon stream, but I am going to be streaming a lot more because, like, again, trying to offset all of it is rough. But thank you for asking. I'm able to drive around and all that, and I'm hoping that I can get at least another 50. Maybe if I'm lucky, 100,000 miles out of it, because Lord knows how expensive cars are going to be for the next however long. So let's wish that into existence. Crystal with the support and the support and the support. Crystal and the support and the support. Crystal, you a real one. You are an absolute from a plane. Y'all, by the way, we are 13 away. We are 13 away from a tie, 14 for the victory. We can do this. Rafts UK Rafton. Coy. Yes.
I don't know what I said at the time, but I appreciate it.
And then Crystal with the support and Crystal with the support. Dude, Crystal, way to go. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody. But that was that, bro. The run continues. Crystal with the support. Crystal with the support. Crystal with the support. Damn. Thank you. Go, pal. One thing that stuck with me through Daredevil was in episode 1 when Kingpin's collar was almost hilariously too big, and then he grew into it over the season. That's a good eye. I missed that.
Yeah, the physicality of Vincent D'Onofrio, like, I loved the eating as power and like that being his vice that he like satiated the Kingpin within with. But his clothes, they tailored to fit him better, which I thought was really clever.
No, I agree. Gopal coming back in between Creature Commandos, Daredevil, and I think another show I'm forgetting. The running theme this year is Cops Gonna Cop. Yeah, I mean, look, it was for a split second in the pit, but there was a situation where a doctor was in the middle of dealing with a mass casualty event. I won't tell you what's going on because for those that are watching the pit, I don't want you to get spoiled. And she happens to have an ankle monitor, and it was going off in the middle of a surgery, and the doctors couldn't think, so she like disabled it. The cops immediately came in and be like, hey, you can't do that. You are under arrest. It's like, do you not see these bodies? She is working, sir. You arrest her at the end of the day. Like,
Cops gonna cop.
Crystal with the support again. Thank you so much, Crystal. And again, damn girl, from the plane. That's wild. Connor coming back in, almost done with the boys comic series. It's awesome. I still haven't read it. I need to.
2006. It's 20 years old next year.
Damn, dude, that's nuts. King of the Wicker People. Dee had the same feeling with the finale as I did for House of the Dragon. Yes, there wasn't enough oomph to the finale. There should have been more to the army reveal. Like, he just didn't get an army. He got the hand to be his army. That would have been interesting. Or like people were saying, but I think it was just too soon and they needed to figure it out. Like if it is about like reassembling the defenders or whatever and stuff like that, that would have been kind of cool if you even just got an illusion. You didn't even need to see one of them. Just show me like the tip of like the yellow hoodie or something like that. Like it would have been. I still would have been upset. I'll be honest. I still would have been upset. But it would have been dope. That would have been a really cool reveal. Dude, Crystal again. My goodness. And I will play. I'll pull a Kristian. If we hit the thing, I will play some music for you. Sean McCabe, hi Winston and Coy, always a pleasure to see you gentlemen. A quick shout out to my brother Patty, who's hanging at the house today. He's the best. What up, brother Patty?
What up, Patty?
Good to
Patty
see you.
McCabe's a hell of a name.
It really is.
It's a real brother. Crystal,
double on the Crystal. Crystal is killing it, man. Connor, hashtag beat Rocha. Thank you. We are close. We are so close to beating Rocha. Kenya King, Superman Day News. We did talk about that at the top. That was
behind the scenes footage, like a 5-minute thing. It's pretty dope. I liked it a lot.
Yep, I want to see it. I need to see it. Crystal again. Crystal coming in this time with excited for Superman. King of the Wicker People. What are y'all's top 5 story arcs in comics? Coy?
Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 1 and 2 of the original series. Ultimate Spider-Man, Volume 1 and 2 of the new series are my favorite Spider-Mans, and that's my guy. I'm either going to go Batman Year One or Batman Hush as my Batman anchor because I want to support my icons of each team. I'm going to go Deadpool, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That'll be 4. And then I'm going to go the first 2 volumes of Saga as 5. It's not easy. Those I think are the most foundational for me.
Nice. Let's see. Days of Future Past,
Nice.
Hush, All-Star Superman, more modern Secret Wars, just because that was the first one that I read, and then Civil War. Civil War. That's part of why I like the Civil War movie, but I also don't, because it was so much more epic in scope than what was put out there. I was glad that I got what I got, and I understand the rules, but fuck, man, excuse my language. I love the original Civil War arc, both from what it is and the philosophical lessons behind it as well. And maybe I replaced one of them, but a bonus Avengers versus X-Men, the recent one, not the OG, the recent one.
Bonus for me will be Department of Truth. I love that book.
Nice. More support from Crystal. Abernathy Raw. Coy, I need your help to get a Falcon and Winter. Wait, I'm assuming that's the Falcon and no. TFAW Battle Beast number 1.
No.
Because I was gonna say the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but that's not right. They would put an S there. TFAW.
I don't know Battle Beast number 1.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure about what that was, and I apologize, but also
Things from Another World's a comic store out here. I don't often think of that alliteration because I don't go to Things from Another World very often. So Things from Another World has dope variants, Battle Beast number 1. I don't go there very much, but I think they ship. Hit them up. They're great. They're at City Walk.
Nice. Also, Coy, real quick. We did it, y'all. We have officially hit 147. We have hit it. Thank you so much for helping us beat Rocha. Do you know how mad he's going to be, guys? I am so excited. Thank you. And it was Mike, too. Mike is also going to be. You might get a Mike rant because of this. Thank you for that, guys. Very, very much so. Oh, man. All right. So let's keep going. TFAW ended online orders, and my son wanted their CDR.
They don't do orders anymore. I unfortunately will not be going to City Walk for the next. I mean, I don't have an hour window to go to City Walk in the next. I'm not kidding. Winston texted me last week, and he's like, "Hey man, you free for an hour on Tuesday?" And I was like, "I think May 27th. I got an hour on a Tuesday." I'm already like legit booking out 2026. Not kidding.
That's nuts,
so
man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you get married, that's gonna take some time.
These bags are like becoming like I'm gonna look like a hut. Like I got like tree rings.
You need some retinol and some cucumber slices. More support from Crystal, just killing it. Let's beat Rocha. We did it. Support. Thank you so much. Heroic Hideaway, seeing Sinners tonight, and I cannot wait. Me too. Crystal again. Bradley Pooper. John Krasinski is my Reed Richards. It's fair. That's fair. Sam Whitwer. Heroic Hideaway. Sam Whitwer back for Mall Animated is my highlight. I love that too.
Yeah, dude. I love Sam.
JJ Skywalker, Coy and Winston for the win. P.S. Your guys' shirt colors clash well together. Thank you. Yes, they do. Gosling is Animal Man. James Gunn, I beg you. Absolutely. More support from Crystal. Jesus, man. Crystal, you are a real one.
Crystal, I want to thank everyone, but Crystal, I want to give MVP award of the day.
Connor, Winston, can you read my shirt and my profile picture? I cannot. It's pixelated. Let me hold on. I'll go full screen.
Jerry makes my morning. Is that a sport thing?
Oh no, it looks like the Cowboys. Jerry makes my drink. Makes me drink. I think that says Jerry makes me drink, which is hilarious because yes, Jerry Jones also makes me drink. That is correct. Oh Lord, I got to go all the way back to where we were. If I can find it. There we go. Oh, we have a lot left, so we got to move. Gopal, the first guy who ran a marathon, famously died at the end. I do remember that. I think that was like it was running like when the first one, like his heart exploded or something like that at the end of it.
Gotta train.
Doe Eyes, Crystal with the triple support. Thank you. Carl H. I enjoyed Daredevil, but would like to see the show have a clearer, stronger vision of what message they are trying to get across. Maybe it was Disneyfied a bit. That violence wasn't Disneyfied to me. I'll tell you that much. That was the opposite of Disneyfied with that violence. But
I feel like the problem was it was two shows they had to come together to really clean up, and that's not going to be the case going forward.
Right. Support from Crystal again. Ewok, rather than being about pilots, I'm hoping it's called Starfighter because Gosling's character is named Dwayne Starfighter or something like that. LOL.
Are you Starfighter? Yeah, Dwayne Starfighter. Triple support from Crystal.
Spidey Sensei, Amazon sells phone hook attachments. That's true. That is actually very true. I have seen that. The case I have too has a really strong magnet. They have a wall mount that you can do, and I actually
just want to hang up my phone like in the 80s. I just want to hang it up. I want to hang up my goddamn phone.
I mean, the cool thing I've seen, there's one that you can get a corded phone where you put your phone in and it charges, and then it has a cord. So you would have to be against the wall, but then it's like a headset that plugs into this where you actually talk to. I've seen that before.
I need that. I need the.
If I can find it, I'll send you the link.
Please, I need that in my life. I'm trying to regress as deep as possible into the 80s.
I get it, man. More support from Crystal. Bradley coming in with chicken jockey.
I don't get the reference, but I've heard it's a whole thing.
Minecraft. It's like that's
all I know is that it is that. But I'm gonna see. I'm reacting to it at Rejects whenever it's out, and that's gonna be a moment, I guess.
Yeah. Support from Crystal again. King of the Wicker People. How likely is the Doom will already have the Infinity Gauntlet, or will he even be in pursuit of it?
I think they're gonna do something to show he doesn't even need it, like something to show his OP, because he's magic and science combined. So there's gonna be something to set that up.
Probably murdering the Kangs, probably farming Scarlet Witch, farming the Beyond or something like that. Another like multiversal threat or power he will just take for his own.
And we need to show power scaling. So
Rocha, more support from Crystal.
Crystal's just like
on one. I thank you. Coy, how do you keep up with so many comics, man?
I change mediums when my brain starts to fuzz. So I read some digitally and I read most analog. And I try to read 10 a day no matter what. So I'm trying to hit 70 a week no matter what. The problem gets to, like, I'm currently reading the April 2nd comics because I went out of town. So when I went out of town, I was able to read some, but I wasn't able to keep up because I was living. So there was a point where I owed 200 comics, and then another Wednesday hit, which meant I owed 250. So right now I'm having to read 20 a day because I'm reading the first week of April. So I got to read first week of April. By the time I finish that, it's going to be this next Wednesday is going to hit. I'm going to stack and stack. So I've got to like power read. So the hard part is keeping track of not only what comics happened then, but recommending to people and also knowing what are getting announced. It's why I'm so tired. It's Fair. Just the bandwidth. But yeah, I read them with as much focus as I can, and I try to make it like no outside sounds. I try to make sure I'm in the story. I try to read it outside in the sunshine as much as I can, so I like have sense memory. Like if I'm having positive physical vibes and I'm reading it, then I try to remember that when I'm thinking of it, and that helps.
Nice. Damn, dude, that's nuts. Mild-mannered comic nerd. Hey, Winston, to your point, the Red was reality, and Wanda was messing with everyone's reality. I hope that makes sense. I hear you, and I don't disagree per se. However, I'll pull the image back up because I happen to still have it here. So my only major concern here is this. So again, Space Stone was the center point, really, more so than the Mind Stone. The Space Stone, because you opened the portal to start the Battle of New York, that was centered here. If we go to the Avengers Infinity War, I still think the Mind Stone makes more sense over here. But I will give you the Mind Stone here because that's the last Infinity Stone that Thanos gets at the end of the movie, obviously, right? Power Stone here, I will give you this one both because of Thanos, but because the whole idea of finally putting it to bed, the idea that like at one point you get, Captain Marvel fighting straight up with Thanos, stuff like that. Again, we're talking about multiversal and timing here, so that makes sense. And this one fighting for the soul of the universe. I know you just had to put it somewhere. And I guess maybe that's what that connection is, but I would almost like again switch these because reality shifted completely at the end of this. And the Mind Stone, see, the only thing is then you almost want to put the Mind Stone here because you kidnapped like Loki was technically using it a bunch in the scepter. And then you could put this one here since the twins were made from the Space Stone. You know what I'm saying? They were being experimented on because of the Cosmic Cube. So I don't know. It's fine. I am nitpicking. I think that is a great solution. Thank you. I have wasted so much time in my stupid explanations. So we got to hurry up. Crystal, killing it again. Thank you. Adrian, Toribio, Winston, your finals prediction, my Lakers versus Boston. I honestly hope that that's the case, and I hope the Lakers win. There's nothing I want more than for Nico Harrison to just realize that he is the stupidest man in the history of sports. And, you know, he just gets embarrassed and laughed out of the league. That would make me very happy. Bitch Boy, are you going to see Wu-Tang Clan this summer? I am not. I am sad. Yep. I'm just broke.
I'm happy they can charge that much. I just can't afford it.
Nope.
Chris.
Right. Paige, who's going to be Nightwing support? Nightwing support?
Like the girl in the chair, like Barbara Gordon? Because that's usually Babs is usually his support, I think.
No, that's true. Maybe. I don't know. Please help us out. Shelf presence. Let's keep it going. Thank you, Crystal, coming in again. Crystal needs like a special badge after today, man. That's nuts.
Truly, that is some work.
Christopher Brickner, Legends continuity had new stories with the Skywalker characters, but an equal number of new characters with new stories with new points on a new timeline like Old Republic. Star Wars now needs that balance. Yeah,
I'm with you.
I like that. I agree. Shelf presence coming in with the support. Thank you, Crystal, with more support, just killing it. Mr. Carter on a plane, man. Mr. Carter 22, Batman, the Brave and the Bold cartoon was such a great gateway to DC as a kid. Came in a Batman fan, became a Question, Blue Beetle, Plastic Man, and Jonah Hex fan. I really did love that cartoon. It was really good.
It makes me so happy to hear those like deep-ish cuts get some love from Batman.
Yep. Ryan S. Support for y'all and MF Paul Giamatti. I mean, if you're just going to do that, I got to throw you one of these.
Motherfucking Batman!
Perfect.
Crystal with more support.
Today, Crystal is the mother effing Batman.
I know, right? Old Mr. Literally, the ways you dropping money like Bruce Wayne, man. I appreciate it, Crystal. Old Mr. Chris recommend an album to each other. Okay. Give me a second. I need to pull up my phone. I will recommend to you. I'm assuming you've already heard Operation Doomsday.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that's not helpful.
It's topical though, so people should check it out if they haven't.
I mean, yes, 1,000%. I will keep thinking on it because we got to get through the rest of the questions, and I will give you one before we leave. What you got for me?
In honor of my concert last night, have you checked out Kneecap yet? No,
I haven't.
So, do you know of them?
I've heard of them, yes, but I don't know it yet.
Okay, so their debut album was last year. This is all a meteoric rise. So their debut album came out last year. It's called Fine Art. It is an Irish language hip hop album. It is a trio. And literally they started with their DJ being a school teacher and these two kids that weren't like they were graduated, but they were like, they're young dudes. They're in their 20s and they speak Irish and no one speaks Irish, even in Ireland. It is I think 7% of the population and Ireland is only 17 million people. So we're talking like less than hundreds of thousands. That's a nearly dead language. So they rap in it and it raised such awareness that people started teaching it again to a bigger scale. And thanks to an Irish hip hop group, Ireland in 2024 declared the national language of Ireland Irish for the first time. It took hip hop to change a national language. And this is what I think hip hop can do. It is the voice of the people. It is the underdog. It is the use of the oppressed using music to bring their voice out there from true soul-bearing musicality. And this album came out last year. They made a movie about them. Michael Fassbender is in it speaking Irish, and they play themselves. Imagine if they made a biopic. Like, imagine Straight Outta Compton if all those dudes play. It's so crazy to even conceive. And they kept up with Michael Fassbender. It's such an improbable story. And I got to see them last night in Pomona.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say Jadenia, the Boomerang EP, if you haven't heard it.
Dude, I have not. Adding it.
You would, dude, Decibels is just as the starting point. Oh, chef's kiss. Go Pal. I got my 2 baby nieces matching Wu-Tang shirts. I love that. 1,000%. Matt Thomas with the end, the losing streak. Crystal coming in again. Shelf Presence with the support. Go Pal. They're 5 and 2, and the older ones like to match. Oh, with the Wu-Tang shirts. True. Hell yeah, dude. Support from Crystal. Bradley Pooper. Burgers versus pizza. What's your pick? I'm a burger guy. Burger all day, baby.
Pizza for me. I'm gonna rep the other side.
That's what's up. Crystal with the support again. Ryan S. Coy. Who is on your bucket list to interview?
Eminem, because he's a comic head and a hip hop genius, and I would love to get into his mind about comics. Childish Gambino, because I have gotten lucky enough to talk to him off camera, but I feel like he has influenced pop culture in ways people don't even know, and I think that'd be a fun conversation to have on camera and like at length about nerdery stuff. And then one more, Natalie Portman. I've always loved Natalie Portman, and she's so smart. She's like a Harvard graduate, like so well-educated genius of an actress. And I feel like I don't see a lot of press from her, but then she'll do stuff like SNL and come out and do like the Natalie raps. Like I want to know Natalie Portman. So Natalie Portman.
I love that, man. Support from Crystal again. Doe Eyes, hashtag beat Rocha. Mike Joyce, what's your guilty pleasure? Mine's crumble. I heard them cookies trash, bro. I ain't never tried them before. I just seen hella black people be like, y'all eat this dry shit? Like, I don't.
Mine's cookie dough. I eat like Nestle cookie dough by the pound.
Does it have to be food? I mean, I would say probably my guilty pleasure is Friends. That show is.
So I picked a good cliffhanger reference.
Huh?
So I picked a good cliffhanger reference. And I said the wedding at the end earlier.
You did. Exactly. I take the Rachel.
Tune in next year.
Crystal. Heroic Hideaway. But see, next year wasn't even next year. Next year was get through the summer. That was 3 months, and then we back. Heroic Hideaway. Started reading DC post-crisis era, and it's one of my new favorite comic eras. What are some of your favorite comic eras?
Early Ultimate is, I think, my favorite. Like the early 2000s Ultimate stuff really changed the game.
I really liked it too. I was a big fan.
Actually, DC All In and Absolute are incredible. Like DC Comics right now is insane.
They're cooking right now. Real talk.
Vertigo in the 90s.
Okay, nice. I love that. Django Blackfire, as a Doctor Who fan, I disagree. The last 4 seasons have been horrible. The premiere was poorly written and hard to watch it nowadays. Oh, wow. Again, not a fan, not familiar.
So I hear that for fans.
Oh, Crystal, tell Rocha and Mike it was me. Well, that is what you get, Mike, for abandoning Steph. Justice for Steph.
That is the coldest, most gangster shit. Tell them it was me.
You get it again, girl. You crushed that. Motherfucking Batman. Connor Bullis, Jerry makes me drink. Yep, good old Jerry Jones. Sean McCabe, and my brother Patty, sister Audrey, and I are triplets. Oh, that's awesome.
Patty, Audrey, and Sean McCabe, dope family.
Absolutely. Boston lady, Coy and Winston with the dub. Great job, Crystal. Absolutely, girl. Go Pal. The guy ran from the Battle of Marathon to Athens to tell them about the victory over the Persians, then immediately collapsed and died. I do remember that story. I'm sure his heart was just like, oh.
I did my job.
Right? King of the Wurger people, my Superman comic suggestions for The Man Who Has Everything. Love that story. Adapted during Justice League Unlimited, did their own kind of version of it, but it was still fantastic. And Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, both Alan Moore.
Whatever to the Man of Tomorrow is one of my favorite Superman stories ever. Actually, I put out 10 Superman stories for Superman Day. On my page is the first 3, but DC Universe. If you go to DC.com, like DC, my comic recs are up there, which is insane. The DC Universe Infinite app, I'm the header today, which is nuts.
That's crazy.
I got comic, like it's just crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Jesse Marquez, keep up the great work, fellas. Thank you so much. Bradley Pooper, comic books are so much better for your mental health than trash novels. Comics are so much more fun, so much more creative and exciting, in my opinion. Respect. Look, man, Comics are fire, but I respect obviously straight novels too, because I'll be honest, some of my scripts are meant to be made into movies, but some of my favorite reads are just reading plays or screenplays and just seeing the written word of how it's being described and stuff like that. But I agree. I obviously love comics and manga in particular. So
I love novels too, though. I want to give that credit. But like trash novels now, but like good novels, I think books are fantastic.
Yep. And our last two, Mark Jason Ali, Linkin Park's From Zero is great. You guys like Emily. I only heard her one when they kind of did the announcement and she had crazy vocals, but I haven't heard, I heard the song they dropped, but did they drop the album From Zero?
There's a whole album. It's good. It's not like I like Linkin Park, but most of my liking it is nostalgia. Like
Sure.
Meteora and Hybrid Theory are my favorites because that's the era I was so in. So
Yeah.
I like it. It's just I don't listen to a lot of new Linkin Park, whether it was Chester or not. It's that 2 albums for me.
That's fair. I also love Reanimation. I love Reanimation so much.
So good.
Man. And then Paige with the last one, almost the last one. Who is going to be Guinness
Guns.
Nightwing? Oh, be Guns Nightwing.
That's what you were asking earlier. That was
yes.
the Nightwing question. I don't know. I'm actually really excited for whoever is Nightwing because that's such a dope character that isn't to the scale he should be at.
Right. And then our very last one, Connor, thank you so much with Gang. All right, Coy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and let's first of all shout out to Crystal one more time. Shout out to everybody for the support, but Crystal, you are 1,000% the MVP. You already know who you are. Our final tally was 160. We crushed him by 20, guys.
I'm just saying we got to text 160 and let him know Crystal sent him.
Crystal sent Crystal. No, not Crystal, man.
Motherfucking Batman.
Man came in and wrecked shop. That's what that was. But Coy, go ahead and hit your plug again, man. Or I guess I should go first because you got to close it out. You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all the platforms, man. Definitely here on YouTube and over on Twitch. I'm hoping to get up for you guys this Sunday, but we will see. It is Easter, so we'll see about that. Oh, it's also 420. Oh my God. Oh my God. So there's that. But please, and then Spill the Tequila on Tuesday. Keep your eyes to what's it called? Social media to see all that. Winston, White Dog Reaction, what's up, man? We need to do that. Eric Curry will do that. Best Seth Rogen comedy, super bad. And then Mr. I Crap and Shit's Coy with how visceral episode 9 of Daredevil was. Could you see the MCU having a Knights line for a more adult content? Go ahead and answer that and do your plug.
I think they need to. I think we are 18 years into this next year. And we need to have that be reflected in the art. So I think we're going to get more darker stuff. And I think that's the right way to go. And that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Capes and Cowls on the Kristian Harloff channel. I'm not Kristian Harloff, but I've really enjoyed hosting for you lovelies today. We'll all be back next week for more. Please do hit that like. It passed like 300 already. Earlier, I was just not refreshed. So press the like. Leave a comment below. Let's have a conversation about these stories, the Star Wars stuff, the Fantastic Four stuff. Let's talk about it. Until next time, I've been Kristian. He's been Winston. We'll see you next week.
Mustard.